being jellified, Jimmy Bean and Bly, reaching highest where we reach, yo, as high as to the stars. Beats in the villain Jeep, vibrating other cars. Whose world is this? Yo, we say the world is ours. So we grow beards, no fear, photos so clear. Take another shot, so to speak, yeah, more beer. BV worldwide, put a fist to the sky. Cheers, cheers, New Year's, dope rhyme, good vibes. My crew speaks power, Chi-Town bleeds power. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth in the final hour. Respect, loyalty, family, charity speaks power. Bearded Villains brotherhood speaks honor. Forwards and onwards, stay villain to the end. I will never shave again because my beard is not a trend. I represent excellence, leadership, and never follow. I'm a BBC member, yo, lieutenant of Chicago.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. It's BV, 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 it's BV. Yo, all I see.
Hello and welcome to episode 45. Episode 45 of the Heart of a Villain podcast. The podcast devoted to the bearded villain worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. Man, guys, this is so awesome. We're gonna try something new today. I'm always up for something different, something new, and we're gonna float with something a little bit different today. Been trying a few things out lately, and so we're gonna do that. So again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is the Heart of a Villain podcast, as I said again. The podcast devoted to the bearded villains worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. This week, we are celebrating the 6th anniversary of the bearded villains. And what a 6 years it's been. We've talked at length about some of the amazing things that the bearded villains have done, and we're going to come back and revisit some of that. And I will here in a short few minutes be asking for participation by those people who are watching live, because I'm going to be asking people to call in. We're trying this new format here where I'm going to have people call in and talk to us a little bit about some of their favorite bearded villain memories from their time in. We have brothers that are tuning in right now that have been here as a member of the Bearded Villain Brotherhood for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. We've had people that have been here since the beginning. So I'm looking forward to hearing some people's stories. Some of them I'm sure I've already heard, but it's really cool because that's what this Brotherhood's about. We're going to be sharing some stories about some things that other people may not have heard about in the past. So, and then I'm also going to be talking a little bit here in the meantime, while we're in between phone calls and different things. I'm also going to be talking about one of the pillars of the bearded villain community, which is charity, and what some of our brothers who have been so gracious enough to share some of their favorite charities and favorite different types of charity events in the last week, when I put out a kind of a call to action to ask people to respond to that on Instagram. I had a handful of people that told me some really neat short little blurbs about some of the fun stuff that they've done and some of their favorite charity aspects. So we're going to do that in just a few minutes as well. When the time comes, I will be asking you to call in on the line chat. That's the preferred way. And the easiest way to find me, if you don't already have me on the line chat, is just capital T for the Bearded BP. It's all one word, but the bearded is capitalized and BP is capitalized. And then there's the little microphone indicator after BP. Otherwise, for some reason, it doesn't show up. So it's the Bearded BP with the microphone on it. That's the way to find me online. Please pay attention, though, because I'm trying not to get people jumping on top of each other. I want to get to everybody that wants to call in and tell us some of your favorite BV memories. And we're going to go as long as we have to tonight and see what happens. I'm excited about that a little bit. So thank you, everybody who is here now live. I'll be mentioning some of your names here in just a few minutes. Everybody else that is following us on the podcast in normal platforms, thank you also for tuning in. I must apologize because we are delayed by a whole day. It's the first time I've had to do that in a while. And actually, it's the first time in 20 weeks, since episode 25 for sure, that we have not been enjoying each other's company on a Friday night. Ever since episode 25, we've been on Friday Night Live doing the live stream thing. So for the last 20 weeks, well, unfortunately, we had a family wedding type of a thing. I had a wedding I needed to get to and was unable to attend our normal time slot last night. And I figured, to be in a happy home, it would behoove me to go to that event instead. So we pushed it back a day. So hopefully that didn't mess up anybody's schedule too terribly bad, or too terribly bad. Too much. We'll just put it that way. Hopefully it didn't mess anybody up too much. I will say now, and I will remind you guys again, first of all, thank you for everybody who has reached out and purchased one of the new, as I'm wearing one of the new shirts, one of the new Got Heart shirts. If you went online and ordered one of the few I had on hand, then you've got them on their way. They're on their way to you right now, if you don't already have them. And so within the next day or so, you should be getting them if you don't already have them. And for those of you who are waiting or wanted to get in on the next order, I will be placing that order on Monday. So if you have not gotten out there and you want one of these shirts before everybody else gets them, get one, get the order in this weekend, because on Monday I'm going to be placing that order. So please keep that in mind. Please, please, please. I don't want to miss out on anybody and make you have to wait any longer than you really wanted to. So thank you very much. Also, thanks for reaching out and getting shirts, patches, and pins in general from the website. So, wow, man, I'm going to say hello to a few people here. Mr. Joker Smiles is always in the house. Thank you so much. Rob, Gator, of course. Tim's in the house. Sharissa, of course. And where Sharissa is Jay as well. Or should we say where Jay is, Sharissa is. I think it goes something like that anyway. Kelsey's in the house. Of course, the Bearded Irishman's hanging in. Chase is here. We got a good crew here hanging out with us tonight. So I've got a few people I've reached out to just in case everybody else was a little bit hesitant to want to reach out to us when the time is right for call-ins. So I'm depending on a couple people to call in for sure, just in case, because I didn't want this to be a complete disaster for me depending on you. Because I know sometimes when I reach out and I put out some kind of a call to action on Instagram, I get a bunch of likes on whatever it is I post, but a handful of people only are the ones that put out the comments and answer the questions that I'm asking about. So, Hillbilly, you're in the house as well. Thank you, buddy. Okay, so before I get started here, I want to take a second to acknowledge something. I want to take just a second and acknowledge our Bearded Villains Phoenix chapter because, well, hang on just a second. We're gonna do this like a fun news report here. So I want to give a shout out to the Bearded Villains Phoenix chapter because they posted something, I believe it was today. They're doing a really cool charity event. They're again, finding ways to raise money, finding ways to make a difference in the world. And I know that there's other chapters out there doing things like this, but I noticed this because sometimes people tag me in stuff. And if I don't get tagged, sometimes there's a chance I'm gonna overlook it and I'm not gonna see it. But the Bearded Villains Phoenix chapter, very cool stuff. They received $1,200 in donated items, or donated funds recently. So check this out. And they posted this on their Instagram page. So they showed some pictures. Actually, I don't know if it's on Instagram. I got it through Dozer from Bearded Villains Phoenix. But they were able to purchase with this $1,200, 53 backpacks, 28 large blankets, 100 pairs of underwear, 100 pair of socks. They loaded up 2 full carts of hygiene products, more than 20 sewing kits, and more than 30 pairs of reading glasses, going to Andre House, which, as I'm told, is in a very sketchy area of downtown Phoenix, and caters to the homeless community. So $1,200 in donated funds, we're able to get so many really cool things that those people will drastically need, and they will take advantage of. So kudos to you guys, Bearded Villains Phoenix. Great job. All right, all right. So now, while I'm waiting here, there's the chance to receive phone calls now. I know there's a couple people I'm waiting on that I have spoken to. So, but what I want to do is I want to cover some of these people's favorite memories from the Bearded Villains. What you have done, and what has changed your life, and what are some of your favorite memories that you've been involved in. And while I wait, as I said, I want to talk a little bit about charity, one of those big pillars that we as Bearded Villains live by. And with charity, it's funny because charity can actually mean, and I kind of broke this down in a very educational way. Hang on just a second. I've got somebody from Ohio ringing in. Let me bring him in here. Brad, are you there?
I am here. What is up, brother?
Oh, man, welcome to the Heart of a Villain on the Beard Phone, as I've been told I have to call it.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on here.
I know. Tell us, man. I don't want to take up too much of your evening. I appreciate you calling in. Welcome to the live stream of the podcast. Hopefully you've got your radio turned down like they tell you on TV or radio, because it's going to be an echo here based on the time delay that you're talking to me. So keep that in mind, everybody else that's going to be calling in. But Brad, tell me, first of all, everybody doesn't know you. Introduce yourself to everybody and who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
I am Brad. I'm the Bearded Irishman on Instagram. If they're not following me, which I'm sure they are, I am the co-captain of the Ohio chapter.
All right. Give us something, man. Give us an incredible memory. I know you've got a good one. Give us a great memory of your time within the Bearded Villains as we now are celebrating our 6 years with the Bearded Villains.
One of my favorites was we did our anniversary last year, Beardo de Mayo in May. Well, some of Toronto and OSW and Toronto came down, and we had a good time with them. And I promised them, I said, since you guys made the trek to Ohio, I will be up to your Beards for Bucko. And I believe that was June. And we made the trip up there, and there was so many chapters up there. We was in a different country. We went and had lunch, our that Sunday we had brunch, I guess, right there down by Niagara Falls at an all you can eat buffet thing. It was just amazing. I'd never been out of the country. We raised, I think it was like $9,000 for Beards for Bucko.
Wow.
The camaraderie. I mean, they welcomed us with open arms as soon as we got there Friday night. It was just an experience that you'd had to been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. I was really looking forward to going up to Beards for Bucko this year, and stupid COVID, man, tore us up with that one. But I was so looking forward to that.
Yeah, dude, it broke my heart they had to cancel. I mean, it's definitely understandable. Everybody's had to cancel everything. But I told them, I told Kool-Aid and, Joey and, Jay, all them. I said, we'll be back. If it's going on next year, we'll be there.
Heck yeah. That's great, bro. That's
in
awesome.
Canada, awesome. It was, like I said, I'd never been out of the country. I know it's Canada. They're like our brothers up north. But, I mean, we had a great time. It was nothing like it. You know what I mean?
It is actually a different country, even though it feels like it's right next door. So yeah,
yeah.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Those guys are extremely welcoming. I've never actually been able to experience that, but I know in my conversations with those guys, man, I am excited. I've got several of those guys that I want to go up and meet, and they're not all in the same area, but there's definitely a great many of our Canadian brothers that I want to meet up with. So, and I know I'll get to see a lot of them at Beards for Bucko next year. So definitely.
And
Awesome.
I didn't realize, I hadn't been in, I'm going on 2 New Years now. I didn't know there was so many chapters up there. You know, I mean,
Yes.
there's like seven, 8 chapters up there in that country.
You're going to be
You know?
surprised in just a second, because I believe Ben is going to be calling us, the co-captain from OSE. He'll actually tell us again. He'll remind us, but there's actually way more than that many chapters up there. People don't realize.
There are so many up there.
I know. Yeah. It's in the mid-teens now, actually. So
Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, it's great. I love to see the growth. They're good. They're doing some really cool things up there. So I laugh all the time because I always refer to myself here as being in the north, and then I realize, well, wait a minute, I've got a whole state and a few other states ahead of me up north, and then there's the whole country of Canada up there. So when I refer to myself as in the north, I'm sure they would laugh at me.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, when we drove up there, me and Lisa worked all night that night, Thursday night. Well, you know, we went home, we got cleaned up, and we hit the road that night. It was only a 5-hour drive to get there for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, man, it was easy going in, you know, going over the border was really easy for us to go over there. And I told, you know, the border agent, border patrol, whatever you want to call him. He said, "What are you going to Canada for?" I said, "A beard competition." and he kind of looked at me like I was crazy. And he had a beard too.
Awesome. Yeah, they're allowed that up there. That's great, Brad. That's awesome. Man, Brad, I appreciate you calling in, buddy. On the beard phone, on the beard line. I don't know what we're going to call this yet, but we'll do this occasionally, and I'll have to call it. I'll have to find an official name for what we're going to call this line. But the beard line, maybe we'll see. But
I appreciate reaching out to me.
Yeah,
I was going to tune in tonight. Like I said, I tried to get in here, but you know, 6 a.m. is 5 a.m. comes early for me. So
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, hey, Brad, I appreciate it, man. Have a great night. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, brother, you have a good one too, and I'll still be here.
All right, take care.
All right, you too, brother.
All right, guys, man, just like that. That's how it is. That's how it is. Brad, a really cool story from Brad about his time up for his first international event up for Beards for Bucko. And I'm looking forward to being able to hang out up there, like I said, hopefully next year, if not sooner, once we get those borders opened up, hang out with some of our brothers up north. But yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks again for calling in. While I'm waiting for the next call, I'm going to talk real quick about charity. And what is charity? Well, guys, when we're talking about charity in the bearded villain circles, one of the things that's funny about it is that there's so many different ways to describe charity. But what I've found that's really neat is in every way that you could possibly refer to what charity is, the bearded villains fit that criteria every single time. So it's funny because you can refer to, by definition, you can refer to charity as an organization that does things. You can refer to it as an act, or you can also refer to it as, the kindness or tolerance. And there's all sorts of ways that you can get around it. So it's funny that we're gonna go into that again. But I've got another call on the line. And, or did he just hang up? Oh, he just hung up. So stand by one. That was Ben. Ben, if you can, please reach back out to us here and we'll see what we got here. Is Ben in the house here? Ben, can you hear me?
Hey, BP. Hey, BP. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the Heart of a Villain live stream.
Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely, buddy. I know you have been in for a while. You're one of the people I reached out specifically to because I knew you'd help me out here with some information and giving us a good story or a good memory. But because you've probably have so many of them, you've been around for a while. So thanks for calling in. Thanks for finding some time on a Saturday night.
Absolutely, and it's funny. I was just talking to somebody about that today. The BV years are almost like dog years. It's only been just shy of 3 years for me, but so much happens in such a short period of time that you look at it and you swear it's been at least 10.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is you've been one of those guys that's so involved in so many different aspects that your name and people, you're one of those names that people would think that you've been around since the very, very, very beginning. but you haven't. But you've been involved in a lot of stuff. So, what comes to mind for you when we start talking about, 6 years anniversary with the Bearded Villains and the time that you've been in? What comes to your mind as far as a great memory for you, or two, however many you want to give us?
I'm gonna give you two because they're very different. One for me really bounces off of what Brad was talking about, because last year I went down to Michigan for their America Sleeps Out fundraiser, which was sleeping outside, raising money for the homeless.
Oh my gosh, you were there for that?
I was there for that. It was very cold.
Now, this is a Canadian saying it was very cold in Michigan. I love that. Okay, go on.
But I had sort of a similar experience at the border, but it went the other way, where I've learned now to always say I'm going down for a facial hair club, because every time I say beard club, they assume I must be bringing Canadian beer for all of you Americans.
Okay.
But we went to come down, and the border guard says, "What are you coming for?" And I explained it to him, and he looks at me and says, "So you're coming to America to sleep on the streets?" And as soon as he said that, I was like, "Yeah, we're going in for inspection." That didn't sound good. But once we got down there, and he looked it up online and laughed about it, and even gave us a small donation. Sort of felt silly for questioning it, but once we got down there, the chapter was incredibly welcoming. You really felt like we were with our own. We really didn't even really picture that we were with another chapter. It was just one big family experience, which was really great to be a part of.
Yeah, that's so cool. You're able to, and what kudos to you though too, because I want to say that was one of those events that unfortunately I had a schedule conflict, and I was actually thinking about coming up, and after I heard some of the horror stories about how cold it was and how you guys kind of got stuck out in the cold even worse than you thought you would, because you had no fire,
they turned off the fireplace, and the next morning they were like, "Well, if you told us, we could have left it on," and we're just like, "Oh no."
Yeah. So unfortunately, that was bad for you guys, but I was kind of happy that unfortunately I was able to make that work, because that would have been a miserable night, I think, for me.
Well, the upside for me was there was a cigar lounge right around the corner, so I hit them up and I was set for the night.
Yeah, there you go. That's great. Perfect.
But no, the other really nice thing for me is the other side of BV, which is, of course, we have all the in-person events and everything else, but it's the online family as well. For example, last week a bunch of guys from different chapters got together and we ran an online auction for a brother who has ran into hard times, as much of us had, courtesy of COVID. And there was people that donated items from 8-9 different chapters, all to help raise money for this one person who was in need. And just seeing that community aspect and seeing everybody coming through was just an amazing thing to see, and really, really was a testament to what this family is truly about.
Yeah. It's funny because as I was just talking right before I brought you on, talking about charity and the charity aspect of it, and how charity is one of the big pillars of what BV is all about, and how it can be brought down to its bare bones as far as what charity is. It's an organization in one regard, that you're talking about an actual charity organization that does things, but then you can refer to it as an act, the voluntary giving of either money or donating time. And then there's the aspect of it with kindness and tolerance towards not judging people. But it's so cool because with those patch rooms that you've been an integral part of, that offers that opportunity for people to, donate, and it's selfless. It really is selfless, because in a lot of cases, these people are buying patches of their own, that, they're not going to do anything with other than probably turn around and donate them another time later.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I've even seen a couple auctions ago, there was somebody that donated a $50 gift card for something, and just because it's the selfless act and because of what the cause for the auction was, that $50 gift card turned around and went for $75, because it's not about the dollar value. It's about the value to the person or the cause that you're trying to be there for.
Absolutely. Two great examples right there. Awesome. Two great examples. And I know you have so many more, but man, 6 years, it's going to be a fun year. I think we're going as time slowly moves on throughout this terrible year that we've had with COVID pandemic, it's neat to see different chapters trying to find a way. Everybody's tired of being stuck inside and unable to participate or unable to make a difference. You can see it. You can just feel it. And so I can see it online. There's guys all over the place just trying to figure out what can we do? What can we do to get back to some of the charity things that we do? So
Absolutely. And what I can say just from personal experience is, I'm not going to say what, but I can say that the nice thing about COVID is it's allowed me to sit back and come up with not 2, but 3 very interesting upcoming OSE adventures that everybody will see in the near future. And I hope everybody's interested in.
that's awesome. Well, then keep me informed for sure. I do not want to miss out on that for sure. I want to make sure if it's something I can publicize for you, if it's something I can participate in some way, shape, or form, absolutely. Make sure
it absolutely will be. And as soon as I have the details sorted, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know, along with, of course, all of your fine followers out there.
Awesome. I look forward to it. Ben, we didn't even introduce you officially, did we? When you first came on, Ben, the co-captain of OSE, man. Thanks so much for being here and for taking some time out on a Saturday night. Everybody, if you're not following him, I can't imagine anybody's not at this point. On Instagram, I think it's Ben _darling_beard, isn't it?
That's correct.
All right, Ben, thanks so much for chiming in with us here.
Of course. Thank you. And thank you for all that you keep up the great work.
You bet. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. So guys, it's like that. Awesome. I love hearing these stories. From guys. It's, everybody, we're a worldwide brotherhood, and guys attend different things all over the place. So there's so many different opportunities. There's so many different experiences that are out there. And like Ben said, people are starting to get creative, really creative with how they can, find a new way. Our brothers out there are doing some amazing things, and it's just really, really cool to see. So while I'm waiting on the next call, we'll find out who's going to be our next caller. I just want to go in here for a second and mention, I did say that I put out a call to action in the last week and asked some people to hit me up and leave me messages as far as what some of their favorite charity aspects, their favorite charity things that they were a part of. And I don't want to go through specific names because I don't know if people wanted, like their name mentioned, but I just want to mention a few of these things because some of these are pretty cool things. And while I will wait on this now and find out, see what we can do to bring another guy in here.
Hey.
Timbo.
Hey, what's up, BP?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
What's up? Good. Didn't know if you wanted a first-year person to call in or not.
Hey, first year, sixth year, it does not matter at all. So for everybody that doesn't know you, give us, since they're not looking at your name on a screen right in front of them right now, introduce yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been on.
Tim. I'm Tim _Grizz on IG or Timbo Slice in line. From BVMI, Michigan, and I've been on just under a year. It'll be a year beginning in November. So I'm just starting my BV journey, really.
That's great, though. That's great. You've been very, very active. You've been very. It's been fun to watch your journey. I know I met you in person a few months back, and it's been fun to watch. Watch how things have gone for you. So, tell us a little bit about from your perspective. What was a really cool firsthand, kind of memory or experience that you've had so far?
Man, first year. I mean, there's just so many things that jump out. From one that comes to mind is a very, very last minute thing. I was working as a 911 dispatcher, and our police department was doing the polar plunge. And I was like, you know what? I bet a couple of my brothers would like to do this. So I reached out in line, and sure as heck, a couple of people came and joined me. And it was as soon as we hit that water and came out, man, I mean, it was cold. Right away, we're like, all right, we got to do this again next year. We got to bring this on as a full chapter thing because it was just such an experience. From that to my very first time meeting all the brothers, which was actually after the sleep out event that you guys were talking about. I missed the sleep out event because my girls had cheerleading, but I was there the next day for the 4-year anniversary to, even my first time meeting people outside of our own chapter, going down to your house for the barbecue.
Yeah.
I mean, just so much stuff all in 1 year, and my wife's even involved. She got her queen. She's a queen already, and I finally got to, become officially patched to the villain. I mean, first year is an exciting time.
Yeah. Well, I will say you have had, it's been very exciting for you, but it's been difficult because it's not been a typical year for anybody that has become a hopeful and or a patched villain in this last year. And I'll say that.
Yeah.
So I have so much admiration for those of you who are just starting out their first year sometime within this last calendar year, because it is so different. It's so unique of a situation, and you're not actually able to see BV in its full-on glory. It's not, you're sticking with it. And I think that would be that's a much more difficult thing to say, because I think that as time goes on, so many guys will kind of fade off in that first year, because it's not, especially this year, when it's not really what everybody thought it would be.
Yeah, this year's been a tough one. I mean, there's been, I've seen frustration firsthand because, charity's so huge and such a big part. And, COVID had so much stuff locked down on the charity. I was very thankful that we were able to put together a virtual head shaving event that, I was shocked that some of our guys ended up shaving their heads. Chris Templeton, our sergeant, for one, was very adamant that he was not going to shave his head. He's into wrestling, and he was like, that's part of my character, is my hair.
Yeah.
And when he came on and was like, you know what, I'm doing it. My hair is going huge. I mean, but yeah, COVID has had so much change. I looked through all the past events that other chapters had and stuff like that, and I'm like, man, we're so locked down right now. It's it can be frustrating.
Yeah, it can be, but it's going to be a really fun. This next 12 months is going to be even more fun for you, because you're going to see things you've seen the hardest times in this last several months, and the lack of ability to really get out there and do a whole lot of the stuff that the events, the brotherhood events, the charity stuff. And so it's been more difficult, and you're gonna be able to see it as these things start popping up again, and we get past this COVID thing eventually. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting time for you.
I'm looking forward to Worlds next year.
Oh yeah,
and I was really looking forward to it this year, but kind of fell through. I'm looking forward to heading down to Indiana for you guys' anniversary meet.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time. It's not even 100% set in stone as far as what's happening, but we know we're going to do something. So it's going to be.
Well, I'll drag myself into every bar until I find you guys.
There you go. We'll find you for sure.
Take care, BP. Thanks for having me on.
Tim, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Bye.
Appreciate it. All right. That was Tim from Bearded Villains, Michigan. All right. So yeah, call it in, guys, on the line chat. I've got room for a few more. And as time goes on, I'll bring you in as you call in. Real quick, I'm just going to mention while I'm waiting for the next call, a couple of the different charity events people have called in about or have mentioned. Knox Villains 2020. That was a big event where a lot of money was raised. One of our brothers said in Bearded Villains, Puerto Rico, they set up a playground at an orphanage. That's pretty cool. The Swedish Music Aid event was a really fun charity event for one brother that he mentioned. Another brother mentioned feeding the homeless, and while feeding the homeless at an event he was at, said that a woman came up and gave him a rosary that he actually still keeps to this day. That's a very cool memory as well. Donating and helping move back to school backpacks for Windsor Children's Aid, one of our brothers. That's awesome stuff. The polar plunge, of course, that was from Tim. Of course, that's a big one. And then even something like hosting a paintball tournament a paintball for mental health tournament. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. So, yeah, while we're waiting for the next call, guys, looking for favorite memories of your BV journey so far. Celebrating 6 years this week. 6 years of the Bearded Villains. Who's going to be our next caller on the Beard line, on the Heart line? We're going to call it the Heart line. That's what I'm seeing. Call it the Heart line, I guess, is what we're going to try and call it. We'll see. But for now, we're going to bring in our brother Gator. Gator is in the house. How you doing, Gator?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
I'm doing really well. You had to be egged on and prompted and almost threatened to come on because you didn't want to come on this show. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Heart of the Villain Live.
What's going on, man?
Tell us, man. You're one heck of you're an interesting cat, man. People, I hope everybody really knows, and if they don't know you real well, they can get to know you real well, because I shake my head and laugh every time I see a picture of you. You're just one of those guys. You're inspirational. You're funny. You've got good stories. Anybody doesn't know, you're probably familiar with Gator's inspirational moments that he gives us every day in one of many chats that you're a part of, probably, I'm assuming at this point, because he puts them on several different chats. It doesn't matter. You can't get away from it, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, Gator, for those people that aren't familiar with you, tell us again who you are, where you're from, and give us a couple of ideas of some really good memories you've had.
Let's see. I mean, you just call me Gator. My Instagram's _Gator. Memories, man. I don't even know where to start. There's so many. Like every memory that I have has been great so far. But I would have to say my greatest memory is probably my very first day. The very first day that because I'm part of the BVSI chapter, Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. But my very first day that I met these guys was at the Polar Plunge. I hadn't seen them before that. I hadn't done anything before that. But I got there. Like, I raised a little bit of money before I met them up there. And, man, they just took me in and welcomed me like they'd known me forever. I mean, to me, that was a big deal. So,
yeah. Heck yeah.
But start out jumping in freezing water, that was pretty interesting, but definitely caught my attention enough to keep me around. So.
Well, but it's funny because you got to see a side of things immediately. It wasn't just to get together to have drinks or something like that. It was, you get to see it from the word, literally from the word jump, from the word jump, you got to see the charity aspect and the heart of the guys that are a part of it. So that's a great way to walk in the door to BV.
Yeah, it was fantastic, man. I mean, them guys took me in, like I said, like they know me forever. Pretty much any event I've been to or anywhere I go, it's pretty much just like that. So
yeah. Well, it says something about you and your character and your approachability too. You're one of those guys everybody just wants to walk up to and give a hug and talk to, and so you're definitely one of the good ones, bro.
Man, I try.
So where are you right now? A soccer game or something? I hear a whole bunch of people yelling and screaming.
No, that's the kids behind me, the house behind me. They got like a big one of them big inflatables back there. I guess they're having a party or something. I don't know.
Okay. That's nice. All right. Awesome. All right, buddy. Well, man, I'm glad you called in. It took a little egging on, but I'm glad you called in because.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what to say sometimes. So
that's all right. It's part of this fun, man. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
This is just conversational. We're talking memories. We're talking what some of our favorite ideas and favorite things are that we've been a part of at BV, and you definitely brought a good one. So I appreciate
it's
you.
Been a great ride so far, man. Looking forward to many more years, hopefully.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have lots of time. Good stuff coming up for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, Gator, man. Hey, appreciate you calling in.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man.
Have a great night. Thanks. All right. Gator called in. We got him called in. He didn't want it, but we all threatened him and ostracized him until he finally did. So good stuff, guys. Well, anybody else that wants to call in and give us a memory, I would greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to it. And if I don't get any more calls in on the Heartline, is that what we're going to call it now? The Heartline? If the beard phone does not ring on the Heartline anytime in the next couple minutes, we'll go ahead and move onward and upward into the podcast and finish this guy off. 45 episodes, guys. And I'm excited because I've got some cool ideas coming down the road here. Those of you who are, I don't know if I have actually mentioned it since the last podcast came out, but I've confirmed with our president, with VK. I've confirmed with him that he's going to be coming on. We're going to set up a schedule, and he's going to come on for episode 50 is the plan. So got another call coming in on the Heartline. Who are you and where are you from?
Yes. This is Mike, Mr. Joker from Puerto Rico.
Hey, Mr. Joker Smiles.
How you doing?
Now you got to turn down your echo there. You got your
yeah. Yep.
There we go. Okay, now
TV's on mute. TV's on mute.
There we go. I've never had to say that to
All
somebody
right.
before, so that's cool. I felt like
All right, my bad.
I felt like an actual TV or radio announcer there for a second. So, welcome to the Heart of a Villain, Mr. Joker Smiles. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you?
Oh man, I'm great. Calling us from Puerto Rico.
Yes.
All right.
A lot of rain, a lot of wind down here with the tropical storm, but we're good. We're good for the moment.
We're good for the moment. I'm always worried that how many times you guys go without power when these storms come around, and how long that.
Yeah, that's crazy down here.
It is.
But but one day at a time.
Crazy, but beautiful.
Exactly.
When you have good days, they don't get much better than they do down there. So.
Definitely.
That's awesome stuff. Well, buddy, tell us a little bit. What are some of your favorite memories from the Bearded Villains now?
Well, I don't have anything I can't put one over another, but I like it that there's so many memories. Other than meeting brothers online and having the opportunity to meet them in person and give them a hug and just having that brotherhood just come out live. I would say it would be the World Meet 2018. I wasn't even planning on starting anything with BV. And our captain, Ed, he's like, yo, bro, I've known Ed for years on the side. And he's like, bro, you have to come through. And meeting so many of the brothers and the way they just accepted me not even being part of the brotherhood, they accepted me with their open arms. I was like, I want to be a part of this. I need to be a part of this.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you probably didn't even meet guys. I mean, you probably had to tell people, I'm not a part of the chapter yet. And if you wanted to, because guys would have naturally assumed, this dude's pretty cool and he's just with us. He's part of us. And,
exactly.
That's so cool. Cause the World Meet 2018, that was my first World Meet. And, it
was amazing. It was amazing.
It was an amazing time for sure. So it was, like I said, my first World Meet, great time down there. First time actually out of the continental states for myself. And then to actually, to be able to meet guys from so many different places in the world. And I felt just what you did. The only difference is that it was at the very, very beginning for you. So I can't even imagine, that trepidation, how you, at first you're like, okay, Ed tells you need to show up for this. And you're kind of like, should I, shouldn't I? But then that breath of fresh air to realize it's exactly what Ed told you it was going to be.
Exactly. It was like just seeing everybody, the way everybody was treating each other, all the brothers were with each other, the way they were accepting me, because I had my Dickies on, but obviously had no patches, and just saying like, oh, what chapter are you from? I'm like, well, I'm starting this. Like, oh, if you're starting this, you're a brother already. And I was like, whoa, And ever since then, it's like meeting guys online, meeting in the different chats and Instagram. I've been to Chicago. I'm originally from Chicago. I visited the brothers over there, just meeting guys from Indiana, from different states. It's like, it's just amazing. And every time they come to Puerto Rico, I try to do everything I can to take some time out, just 5 minutes. What's up? How you doing? It's a pleasure to meet you. Let's take a picture.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool stuff, man. Very cool. So you've now been in. You're coming up on 2 years then, right? Or just about?
2018. Yeah. I started, actually the journey started in August, and I got patched with Villain in December of 18.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. That was a great way to start it, buddy. That may have been one of the, I mean, I don't know if you could actually start out your BV journey. I mean, I've heard some fun stories, but to start out actually at a world meet, that's incredible.
It was amazing, and many years to come. Yeah. I just can't wait.
Yeah. We just got to get past this time right now, man.
Definitely.
And get back to what we know we can do. So great stuff, man. Well, stay safe down there. Don't let you too. Stay away from all the bad juju, man. You guys have had your share lately. So be safe down there.
You too. Be safe. Take care.
Thanks for calling in. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Mr. Joker from Puerto Rico calling in, giving us some good memories of bearded villains. That's what we're calling in. That's what we're talking about tonight on the live stream and this podcast episode 45 of The Heart of a Villain, talking favorite memories, some good memories of these last 6 years of the bearded villains. I love hearing these firsthand stories, guys. This is great stuff. Good stuff. So as I wait, I'm going to probably take one or two, maybe two more calls that might come in on the Heartline. That's what we're going to call it, the Heartline. I feel like if I say it that way, I think I need to say it like you're going to call in on the Heartline. I feel like I need to be a DJ announcer from the 80s or something like that. Call in on the Heartline. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. I love hearing these stories, man. We have so many guys that have had some really cool experiences early on in their BV journey, and that's what keeps you. That's what motivates you and drives you to share that stuff with other people. So we got to keep that going. All right, guys. While I wait for the next person to call in here, if we get somebody else to call in, I'm going to give a little word from a sponsor. Not really a sponsor, but a partner of the podcast. Guys, if you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards. Pulpo Beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market and incredible customer care and customer service. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo, beardoils.com. Use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Pulpo Beard Oils, guys. All right. That's what we say. I had a call coming in while I was doing that read, and I do apologize. I know who it is. So please, sir, give us a call back. I believe that was Mr. J. Mr. J13 calling us. Give us a call back, and you can be our final caller of the evening if you call us back here in the next few seconds. So, yeah, good stuff, guys. We're going to see if we can reconnoiter here with him and see what we get. See if we can get Jay on the line. If not, we will continue on and move forward, trudge forward here with the cast here. Thank you for everybody for staying around and sticking around. Is Jay in the house?
Yeah, man.
Hey, there he is.
What's going on, BT?
Oh, not much, man. Not much. Thanks for calling in. You are going to be my final caller of the evening.
Oh, nice special.
Welcome to the Heartline. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who what's your name and where are you from? And give us a good memory, man, from the first 6 years of BV.
Well, I am J13 on Instagram as J_13_13 spelled out. I am from the Great White North of Canada. I'm part of the OSC chapter. And although there's a whole bucket load of great memories I've had with BV, there's kind of a couple of other things that I kind of want to focus on.
Okay.
One is just the people that I would have never met if BV wasn't part of my life. From my brothers in my chapter who I would have never met, guys in the States who I've never met, present company included.
Uh-huh.
I've talked to guys from Wales. I've talked to guys from the UK. I've talked to guys from everywhere. And I mean, that's not something that just ordinarily pops up in life.
True statement.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I find BV has really done for me is just changed my general outlook on life in general. Because I mean, like, you look at guys like you, like Gator, like guys who just ooze positivity, and make you want to be a better person and change the way you look at everybody else. You know, instead of I don't want to use the word judgmental, but like you know, you've always got that mentality of you kind of know what a guy's about. You know what he's about.
Mm.
But you kind of give people the benefit of the doubt, and you treat your fellow man a little better. But you know, at that red light, you're like, yeah, go ahead. I'm not worried about it. Go ahead. Like, just the small stuff that makes a big difference overall, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. It makes sense. Yeah, totally get that, man. It's life, man. It's the way I think it's, you know, a light switch kind of flipped on with me years and years ago. And I've been so much happier since, just kind of breezing through life that way. I've never been one of those guys that, you know, and I've met several other people within the Bearded Villains that are the same way. And it's not something that everybody is all the time. It's not something that everybody, you know, Gator would be one of those, like you said, that he's said the same thing, but he was not always like that either, he'd say. And so many other guys, and it could be because of other guys they've met within BV. It may be other guys that they've met outside of BV, but they're carrying it into BV. So yeah, it's a very good point you're making there.
You know, I deal with mental health issues. I deal with chronic depression. So for me, it's easy to get down, to get dark. And I mean, being surrounded with guys who are like just super positive, like you had Ben on earlier. Mm. Ben always has wise words. Ben always has uplifting words. And, you know, it's hard to, if you'll excuse the phrasing, it's hard to be a sad sack with guys like that around. You know, it's hard to get down because you got these guys going, yeah, I see you down. Let me lift you up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they say, the only time you should look down on somebody is to give them a hand up.
Yeah, that's a great statement. That's awesome. Yeah, it is. I think your point is very well said, because, you know, we're going to meet those people in life that you know, they cause those ripples, and whether you know it or not, because I don't think honestly that you do, but whether you know it or not, your affiliation and the experiences that you've had from all these other people that you refer to being extremely, you know, positive people in your life, you have actually been able to pushed that forward as well. You have been able to be a positive example for other people, whether you know it or not, just because of the very nature of being, just because of the very nature of being a part of what the Bearded Villains are all about. And so never sell yourself short on that regard, because perfect example, as it doesn't sound like much to some people possibly, but one of the phrases that we've coined here within the podcast is something that you said just kind of off the cuff one night while we were talking, and it's stuck, and it's become a part of this podcast ever since. So never feel that your contributions, never feel that what you're doing and what you're giving to this world is not accounted for sure.
Well, good people cause good people and cause those good people to do good things, and I just feel like I got to be part of the chain.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, buddy.
But great episode, sir. This is super enjoyable, and I always listen to the show, so kudos to you, my friend, and enjoying another one.
All right. Thanks so much, Jay. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon.
Much love, brother. Have a good night.
All right, you too. All right, guys, that's so cool. I love all of you guys for calling in. Some really good info there, some good reminders. That's what we get. That's what we get when we start talking to brothers out there telling us about their experiences, because it's not just people talking about, oh, I was drinking with this one guy and he was doing this, or we went here and we did this. When Bearded Villains get together, and share stories, you learn about life. You learn about changing the world in some way, shape, or form. You learn about how lives are changed, whether it's your life, their life, somebody else's life. You start to hear about these ripples that happen, and that positivity just pushes you forward. And you start to see the types of things that maybe it's not you, maybe it's somebody else, but something that you can take away from a story or a situation that somebody else was involved in. So, so great to hear. And yeah, guys, I love hearing these stories. So I'm super stoked about hearing that stuff, guys. So thanks so much. All right, guys, you guys know about I've mentioned it before, the new charity patch that's coming out. Still working on the final details of that. There's a possibility, I said before, it was going to be a 5-inch patch. Now maybe it's going to be a 4-inch patch, because I believe that we're aiming for it to be a woven patch now. This design that our brother Longman created for us of the 2 patches, this 2-patch set, is so intricate that it's difficult to do it stitched. So in order to get everything we want out of this and for it to look as cool as we want, that's causing us a little bit of an issue on the stitching. So hopefully soon I'll be able to give you guys a rundown and show you what the coolness is, the cool factor of this limited patch set. So good stuff coming down the pike. Again, don't forget you can buy shirts, patches, pins, all that good stuff at the heartofavillain.simplecast.com. heartofavillain.simplecast.com. All right, good stuff. We're going to trudge on, guys. Get into our calendar of events. It's a little bit small right now, unfortunately, partly because of something being canceled. But yeah, we're going to go through this here now. September 11th through the 13th, the Four Corners meet, still scheduled as far as I know. I've not heard otherwise. Four Corners meet in Cortez, Colorado, September 11th through the 13th. September 25th to the 27th, Bearded Villains Missouri Valley has their 2nd anniversary. There's a beard competition with vendors, door prizes. There's a meet and greet at the Last Hotel's rooftop, 1501 Washington Avenue in St. Louis. The beard competition is from 1 to 5 p.m. at Four Hands Brewing Company, 1220 South 8th Street in St. Louis. And then there's a farewell brunch scheduled to be decided. Then we move into October 3rd, the Battle of the Beards 2020. Battle of the Beards 2020, hosted by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. It's going to benefit the Gresham House. Did a podcast episode on the Gresham House, several episodes ago, sometime in the first 10 episodes, I believe. So check that out if you're curious about what the Gresham House does. Very cool stuff there. But the Battle of the Beards 2020 by the Bearded Villains, Southern Indiana, it is going to be at the American Legion Post 44, 711 State Street in Newburgh, October 3rd for Battle of the Beards 2020. So we also have October 16th and 17th, the 4th Florida Summit has officially been canceled. However, there's some scuttlebutt out there that some peeps is going to be meeting up regardless. The Florida boys that live down there still want people to attend if they want to come down and hang out unofficially. So hit up any of our bearded brothers down in Florida and find out some statistics and some high points and some different event information if you want to hang out during that same weekend of the 4th Florida Summit, which was supposed to be October 16th and 17th. Then finally, right now, we have October 24th, the Bearded Villains of Indiana celebrating their 5th anniversary. Bearded Villains of Indiana in Indianapolis, Indiana, October 24th. Details forthcoming because things are still up in the air with the COVID pandemic issues and social distancing guidelines. So there will definitely be some sort of charity aspect going on. But keep an eye out for the Bearded Villains of Indiana posting for October 24th, Bearded Villains of Indiana 5th anniversary. Alrighty. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap up episode 45, the 6th anniversary week episode of The Heart of a Villain. Reminder, you can still buy those shirts, patches, and pins at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. And remember, I want to challenge all of you to be the villain that the world needs you to be. Because the heart of a villain never stops beating, guys. Finally, as I always say, please remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, have a great weekend. What's left of it anyway, guys? Enjoy the week ahead. Take care and stay safe.
From my chapter to yours, we're all one, no borders. Don't get it twisted like contortionists and close quarters. Like who has more heads than peeps cleaning up on borders. When Blood, Jelly, and I, we come together, transformers. So when we meet up, handshakes, brews, and salutes. Every brother is different, fingerprints and attributes.